All right. All right, here we go. Let's get ready. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Artificially Smart Marketing Podcast, where we explore the exciting world of artificial intelligence and its impact on marketing. Every week, we feature in-depth conversations with industry leaders, technology experts, and marketing professionals. Our guests share their insights and experiences on how AI is transforming marketing and providing businesses with a competitive edge, keeping you up to date on the latest trends and best practices in AI-powered marketing. Now, whether you're new to the world of AI or an experienced professional, the Artificially Smart Marketing Podcast is the perfect place to learn about the latest advancements and how they can be applied to your business. Join us each week, and now let's explore the exciting interaction of AI and marketing together. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Artificially Smart Marketing Podcast. My name is Matthew Maniak, your co-host and co-founder of Noble Vision AI, here with Tony Aponte, your other co-host and my co-founder of the company. How you doing today, Tony? It's been a long time since we've seen each other last.
Yeah, right. Doing great, doing really good. Excited about today's topic. Hope everyone is alive and well and energized.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you all for tuning in again. We've got a very exciting episode planned out today for you, and specifically for those listeners in the home services industry. And now, Tony, I know that this one's going to kind of hit home for you because that's kind of your background. And I mean, before you got into marketing, I know that you had your own home services business, and just to kind of refresh our listeners and kind of share a little bit about your background in that industry, like what branch of home services were you involved in?
So, interestingly enough, I basically pretty much have done a lot of mostly a little bit of everything, right? But I started out as a painting contractor, where we did mostly painting for new construction painting, and then obviously that evolved into residential and commercial painting, and then that led into doing more construction type work like remodeling. And so I kind of migrated all of that, and I got to a point where I was doing bathroom and kitchen remodeling, floor installation, siding repair, painting. Always we're doing that. That's one of the services that I never ever gave up, was painting, and then also doing some drywall repair, installation, finishing, anything that had to do with like the finishing side, the stuff that you actually saw when it was finished. That's what I did. So I did that from 2001 all the way through till about 2019, or actually, I said it's 21. Sorry,
Awesome.
2021.
Gotcha. So yeah, so for our listeners, Tony's been there, he's done that, he knows exactly where you're at when it comes to that home service hustle, and kind of with that, right, with what we're going to be delving into today, there's a very real and a very valuable application of this AI technology that we're able to leverage in customer interactions for the home services industry, right? So, kind of the first topic that we want to delve into today is how these AI chatbots are transforming customer interactions, specifically in the home service industry. And I know, like we've talked about this before, in the use of the chatbots, in the use of artificial intelligence, being able to really dial in these conversations that are being had with customers pertaining to the home services industry. I mean, so Tony, tell us a little bit about kind of where these chatbots are coming into play and how they're transforming the interactions on the website for home services businesses.
Yeah, so I think this is one of the features that I think a lot of home services business owners are going to be able to really take advantage of, is the chatbot on their website that's driven by AI. Now we have those other chatbots that are pre-canned, right? The ones that are just they're installed onto your website, and on the back end in the admin area, you figure out the questions you have, and then you put your answers in there, and that's it. And it's
A very
very
pre-programmed flow.
correct, right? And so the AI driven chatbot, it's a whole nother level, right? It starts off with programming it with the information that you need, but then as time goes on, now it becomes a lot more fluid, right? With whoever is interacting with that chatbot on their website. And so this is really key, because when a homeowner goes to a home business website, and I'm hoping that everyone that is listening has a website, right?
And
Yeah,
if you don't, we can help with that.
yeah, that's right. Anyway, so whenever you get on the website, they're going to be looking for several types of information, right? They're going to look to see what your services are that you offer. You know, where are you located? They're going to look for some reviews. They may still be in deep into the research area, so they're probably going to go to your blog if you have one that's updated with content that helps answer questions, and it's going to be able to interact with them. They're going to be able to ask questions to a point where it's going to take them and guide them through to where the final step is to reach out to you for an estimate, right? For whatever service you're offering, they're going to request an estimate, either whether it's on site or over the phone, depending on what services you offer. So this is really where the home service industry is going to really benefit a lot from that chatbot system right there.
Right. And I think just to kind of help paint the picture, right, is if you've got a website, you've got in plus blog content, plus maybe some videos, things like that, you've got this massive archive of information, this massive library of information that people that haven't been to your site before, if they're trying to really learn more about your services in your cities that you serve and things like that, it can sometimes be a little daunting to, or I mean, like the site might be very easy to navigate. It may be very well organized, but when you've got all this information, sometimes, I mean, you know, from the standpoint of the consumer, of the person that's visiting the site, it might just be, you know, like analysis paralysis, where they might not know where to
Right.
start. And so what these chatbots can do, because they can be trained up on the information on your website and on your business, and even potentially some information that's not available on the website, still being able to answer questions on that, instead of leaving it to the visitor to navigate the website, the visitor can now interact with this chatbot, and this chatbot can, in some ways, almost be like a tour guide for
Right.
the visitor to the website, and bring the specific parts of the website that they're trying to access to them without them having to navigate the page. So it's almost, just like I said, a tour guide to facilitate connection, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and and think about it this way. So let's just say, for instance, right? Let's use a kitchen remodeler. All right, someone's looking for a kitchen remodeler. They go to the website, and let's just say that this is a very well built website, right? The whoever owns this website, they know that they have to provide value, so they've got umpteen different articles on their website, right? Talking about all the different types of topics, questions that a homeowner is going to have when it comes to remodeling their kitchen, right? And so, and let's just say the homeowner is like, hey, I don't really know what the best type of hardware that I need to use for my cabinets, right? And it's like, well, the chatbot, if you have an article saying what features you should have or you need to consider for long lasting cabinets, please, here's the top 10 things that you must consider. That chatbot's going to say, look, great question. Here's an article that we think you're going to benefit. And it'll send a link, right? And it's all because it's been trained on what you have on your website. Now, imagine that. How cool would that be? Because now you have literally just provided that customer, well, hopefully a customer, the value, the information they're looking for. And that means a couple things, right? Let's talk about this a few free areas, right? The time that they spend on your website is now longer, which helps for SEO, okay? Because Google looks as to how long your traffic stays on your website. It looks at the bounce rate. So the longer they stay on there, the better it is, the more engaging they are on your website. And Google's going to see that and say, oh, this website is very engaging. And so it's going to give you more SEO power versus another website that doesn't even get used hardly any because there's nothing on it, right? So that's just a small glimpse of what could happen whenever a prospect comes to your website and looking for information. You set yourself apart instantly by having that level of attention that's provided by the chatbot. And so that's really important that you really consider that, because the one thing that I want to make sure that you guys understand is that the chatbot is a part of the puzzle of the overall authority building strategy, right? It's the chatbot is working off of what you've already provided, which is content. And as everyone's already heard, I'm sure you've heard the saying, content is king. It's even more important now, where content is the dominating factor for this chatbot to really do what it's supposed to do.
100%, 100%. And I mean, content is king. I mean, I feel like if you've been in any marketing conversation, I feel like that saying's probably been bounced around at least a few times.
Yep.
But now kind of leaning into, I mean, we've talked about some of the benefits specifically for like those initial customer interactions, but now let's kind of actually take that a step further, right? From interaction to appointment scheduling, right? So, I mean, these chatbots, they can be tied into, the back end side of things to get those appointments scheduled. So it's like, for taking your example of, the best lighting hardware or the best cabinet hardware, right? Being able to say, okay, cool, like this is great information. Um, I'm interested. How can I get started? From there, these chatbots can be programmed to take it to the next step and set up that appointment, right?
Yep.
And so at that point, you're automating this system, automating this process of customer engagement, nurture, education, all the way up to the booking, right? And I mean, even beyond chatbots, we've seen this where sometimes you'll need to have, that sales rep or VA kind of manning that chat system. But with this AI, you're able to automate that process completely.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And this is one area that's really important. I'm going to share a little bit of my experience with my remodeling company and my experience whenever I talk to other customers that are like looking for a contractor. And you have no idea how many times I would connect with a homeowner that's looking for an estimate for whatever, painting, bathroom remodel, floor installation, or whatever, right? And I call, and because I've always done my due diligence to make sure I pick up the phone. All right. Not everyone does that, but I did. I always picked it up just because the way I thought was that the faster I was able to communicate with that customer, the higher the chances are that I'm going to close them, right? And so a lot of times I would go and get on the phone with them and talk to them. It's like, yeah, well, I called 3 other contractors. They picked up the phone and we were able to, set up a time to come and, do a bid, and they never showed up. Or I called 4 or 5 different contractors and they never called me back. And you have no idea how common that is. Even to this day, I still talk to other contractors and they tell me the same story. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. I would win bids just because I was the first one. I was the only one that was able to that called them back.
Yep.
So that chatbot is going to be a game changer for a lot of you, because now whenever a customer or a website visitor converts into a lead, they're going to be able to have a seamless conversation with your company, because that chatbot system is picking up the slack that is there in the communication and be able to keep that conversation rolling to a point where you can go and convert that into a sale. And that's going to be huge. That I think this is, when I look at everything and how it all affects, in the home service industry, and I look at a lot of the pain points that a lot of contractors face, is that follow-up process. I think I've been in this long enough to have a lot of conversation with a lot of contractors, and I think this is one of the areas that contractors really struggle, is with the follow-up process. And I think this is going to be one of the key areas that is going to change the game for a lot of you contractors that, and I get it, there's a lot of you guys out there that maybe are just yourselves. You're solo, right? I used to do it by myself a lot of time, paint, by myself, no crew, because I couldn't afford to pay, a crew. And I felt that I could do the job myself. So you're trying to get that job done. You don't have time to pick up that phone, right? Well, now you don't, that's one less thing you have to worry about. If you've got a website that's well built with the right content and has a chatbot system in place to take your prospects through to lead conversion and be able to set up appointments where, it's basically tied into a, let's just say, like a Calendly calendar where it automatically books it for you, and you're done. And all you do is get a notification, you got an appointment. I mean, how sweet would that be, right? And that's what AI driven chatbots give you.
100%. And like another thing to consider as well is the aspect that we've talked about this previously in how AI can optimize and enhance the customer journey. And if you haven't checked that episode, be sure to go watch that, because we delve into this a little bit further. But tying it back to that, right, is making sure that we can have the chatbot programmed up and trained up on the messaging and the style of conversation that
Right.
you as the business owner have, or you as your sales team has, because then we can have it be to where the customer feels that it's the same, that they're talking to the same person, that they're talking to the same unified brand entity, right? And so
Right.
it's that way. It's like it's not going to be like your very canned responses, either from whatever program that you're using, but being able to really dial in the conversational tones to make sure that this chatbot is representing the brand rather than just handling a communication. So it's more than just that.
Right. Yep. Yeah, no, it's um this is one of those areas that if because there's a lot of noise out there right now when it comes to AI, right? And so it's like there's a lot of this coming at you from all different angles. This is why we're starting to really delve in deeper into these topics, because this is where the meat and potatoes of how AI can help you out. And this is where we really want to make sure that you business owners out there understand the value and the power of what it can do to your business. And so, this is where our mission is, to help you guys be able to just expand your business by using a simple tool like AI, and it's just going to help you take your business to the next level. Because there's a lot of you guys that have been struggling, right? You're out there working hard, trying to grow your business, but because you only have so much bandwidth, right? There's a lot of areas in your business that you have not been able to address because you just don't have the bandwidth. Well, with with AI integration into and we'll just use this part as an example, with the customer flow, right, from your website through to leading to a phone call, or setting up an appointment to get an estimate, and then also converting it to a lead, right, and closing it. It's this is one area that whenever you get this part down right, you're going to be able to sleep so much better at night, because now it's going to allow you to focus on the other areas. It could be whether you're looking to expand your crew, but you just haven't had time to bring on a new person to train because you're trying to do all this other stuff, right? Or it's, you're trying to spend more time networking, with other leaders in the industry in your local area, so that way you can start expanding your
Reach.
exposure,
Yeah,
right? And so this is where it gets down into the nitty gritty of what AI does for your business.
absolutely. Right. And I mean, we've been talking about this for months, right? And in the standpoint of uh AI is here to help, right? It's here to increase our productivity, increase our efficiency, increase our ability to perform. And one way to look at it is this is the technology that these small businesses, these home service small businesses can use to be able to take that step back to work on the business rather than solely working in the business. And I forget the book that it talks about, but I experienced this in my own personal life recently. The standpoint of, are you a business owner or are you your own best employee, right? And so
Right.
looking at it as AI is this tool that can be leveraged to turn yourself from your own best employee into being able to run your own business
Right.
effectively. And
Yep.
for anyone that's listening to this that resonates with, right, we encourage you to drop a comment, send us a message, contact at noblevisionai.com, right? Visit our website and see, because we're doing more than just talking about it. We live this. We live and we breathe these AI tools. So if this episode the messages and the information that we're providing to you guys. If that resonates with you and you want to learn more, please send us a message. We are here to help.
Yep. Yeah. And guys, we're going to start putting together notes now for our episodes that you're going to be able to go ahead and sign up and get the notes for each podcast. And the notes actually are going to be a little bit more in depth than what we cover as a whole in the podcast, just because we want to make sure that we provide you with value. So just make sure that you sign up for that. The link will be in the description. But we're going to, from this point forward, our podcast, we're going to start really getting into just really delve into how AI is going to help your business in so much deeper, deeper level. And then also we've got, some interest coming up right now as far as some interviews. So we're really what we have planned for this podcast is it's exciting, and we hope that you guys stick around to really take part in that growth that we're going to experience, because then what we're going to do is going to help us help you grow.
Absolutely. So you heard it here first, folks. You're not going to want to miss out on any of it. So be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, visit us online at noblevisionai.com, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Take care, guys.